Leave It to Ocean City. Starring Sammy Barnes, Jason Mathis, Zach Parnes, Kyle Johnson, and Tyler Fields as the Marlin.
June? Ah, there you are. Everybody home?
Yes. Wally and the Marlin are up in their room with Eddie Haskell.
Eddie Haskell. What's he up to?
Look, Sam, your pop just got home. Are you gonna go down and ask him or not?
I'm gonna go ask him, but you ought to be there with me when I'm asking him.
What's the matter? You afraid of your father?
I'm not afraid.
Then why don't you go down and ask him by yourself?
Look, you're the one who wants me to ask him, so you ought to be there when I'm asking him.
Yeah, I think you ought to be there too.
Who asked you to horn in on the asking?
Come on, Eddie, we'll go together.
No, not me. Your father doesn't like me.
What makes you say that?
On the count of the way he looks at me anytime he opens the door, sometimes I think he'd rather see Putin standing there. It's a great brother you got there, Squirt.
Yeah, I think he is.
A little chicken, but great.
Wait, Eddie, what's Wally gonna ask Dad anyway?
He's gonna ask him if I can stay the night.
What? You spending the night here?
What? Eddie Haskell spend the night?
Dad, it's only for one night.
I'm sorry. I didn't mean for it to sound like a catastrophe, but it sort of caught me by surprise.
Come to think of it, Eddie's never spent the night here before.
Well, he's wanted to loads of times, but this is the first time I've had nerve enough to ask you. Besides, I think I owe Eddie a night here. I've spent like 3 or 4 nights over there.
Well, I guess it's all right with me.
Gee, thanks a lot, Dad.
I'll put Marlin in the guest room.
Remember, no horsing around.
Oh, Dad, we don't do stuff like that anymore. We're in high school.
Do you suppose it's okay with Eddie's parents if he stays?
If you were Eddie's parents and you had the chance to palm him off to someone, how would you feel?
It's okay with Eddie's parents.
Hey, Marlin, anybody ever tell you look like LeBron James?
Gee, no.
I'm not surprised, because you don't.
Hey, Eddie, my dad says it's okay. You can stay.
Yeah? Did he blow his top first?
No, he just said you could stay.
Well, I guess being polite to him finally paid off.
Yeah, I guess it did. But you ought to call your parents and tell them you're going to spend the night.
Yeah, why should I? I don't have to check in with the warden every time I make a move.
If I was gonna spend the night at someone's house and I didn't call my parents, they'd probably kill me. And that's on account because they love me.
Look, why should I do my parents any favors? If you start being too good to them, the next thing you know, they'll start pushing you around.
Eddie, I think you should call your father and let him know you're spending the night.
Yes, sir, Mr. Robinson. I was just talking to Wallace and Marlinian about that exact thing. I'll call him at once.
That's a good boy.
I think we made it through dinner quite nicely.
That's the Eddie Haskell pattern, the epitome of graciousness in front of the parents.
I just wish you wouldn't be so obvious about it.
Especially when he cut Marlin's meat for him.
Yeah, I hope he's not up to something.
Wally and Eddie been friends for 4 or 5 years now. Nothing's ever really happened.
But Eddie has the look that something's always about to happen.
So whose turn is it to jump?
We're playing chess, not checkers.
Okay, but whose turn is it to do something?
Will you be quiet? This is a game for grown-ups, not runts.
Eddie, are you humming just so I can't concentrate?
Sure I am. Why else?
You said your dad taught you chess. Did he teach you that too?
Look, kid, one of these days, I'm gonna yank your head off and put it on backwards.
Eddie, quit picking on him.
Hey, wait a minute. Wait a minute. Was I looking when you took my bishop?
Well, sure you were looking.
Okay, I'll take your word for it.
What kind of crack is that?
Nothing. Just try and remember that I am the guest in your home.
Okay, so what?
So, don't take any of my men when my back is turned. That's what.
Eddie, Wally was looking every time you took one of his pieces, but when you took the little castle thing off the board, he wasn't looking.
Will you scram on out of here?
Hey, he doesn't have to scram out of here. He's got just as much right to be here as you do.
What kind of host are you? If I wanted to get shoved around, I could have just stayed at home.
Eddie, do you want to play or not?
I'm thinking. I'm thinking.
You sure you want to make that move?
Look, Sam, you play your game, I'll play mine.
Okay then. All right. Check and checkmate.
Oh, sorry, how careless of me.
That's all right, Eddie. The game was over anyways. I won.
What do you mean you won? Show me how you won. Show me where it says you won.
Well, of course I won. That's why you got up and knocked the board over on purpose and hit the pieces all over the place.
Yeah, I saw you do it on purpose.
I did not. Besides, I don't go for playing the guys with cheat.
What do you mean by that?
You heard me. Getting me your creepy brother to psycho me out so I couldn't even think. You're nothing but a big cheat.
Oh, that's all right. Eddie, you know what? You ought to get out of here right now before I throw you out of here myself.
And what makes you think that you're a big enough man to do it?
This is what makes me think I'm big enough.
Okay. Okay. You don't have to start a Ukrainian war. You sure are a crummy host. And a crummy chess player, too.
Man, Wally, that's a shame.
What? That Eddie went home?
No, that you didn't get a chance to sock him.
Eddie, where are you going?
Home, sir.
What? Eddie, I thought you were spending the night.
I was, Mrs. Robinson, and it was very kind of you to extend me the invitation, but
Then why are you leaving?
I'd rather not say, sir. I don't believe in carrying tales.
Eddie, if there's something wrong, please let us know.
Well, if you insist.
I insist.
Wally and the Marlin were mean to me.
What's the verdict?
Just like we thought, Eddie Haskell started the whole thing.
You made sure.
Yes. Hey, you know what? With a little luck, this could turn into a permanent break.
I just hope this doesn't cause bad feelings between us and the Haskells. You know they're positive their son can do no wrong.
Oh, it's just too bad they can't know poor little Eddie like we do.
Hopefully that's Eddie calling to apologize to Wally.
Hello? Oh, hello, Frank.
Is that Frank Haskell, Eddie's father?
Listen, Frank, I guess you want to speak to Eddie. You don't. You and Mrs. Haskell are all the way up in New York?
What? Don't forget to tell him hello to Mrs. Haskell from us.
What's that, Frank? No, that was just June sending her regards. Listen, Frank, yes, we're going to be taking very good care of Eddie, but the problem is... Frank!
What's the matter?
Mr. and Mrs. Haskell are all the way up in New York, and they were glad to know that we were taking good care of shy little Eddie.
But we aren't. Not anymore.
That's right. So that's why we have to get shy, timid little Eddie back over here to spend the night.
Boy, Dad, you mean I gotta go over to Eddie's house and ask him to come back over here tonight?
Wally, it's all we can do.
But everyone was so happy when he left.
That's not the point, Marlin.
How come you can't just tell Mr. Haskell that Eddie isn't over here?
I was going to, but he didn't give me the chance. I didn't want to worry him. The easy thing to do is to get Eddie back over here. After all, we can't have them go on thinking that we're taking care of their son when we're not, can we?
Oh, all right. But do I really have to ask Eddie to come back over here?
Wally, it's the right thing to do.
Can I go too?
What for?
I mean, maybe Eddie's gonna get a beat down when Wally's just trying to do the right thing.
No, I think you should just stay here and keep your mother company.
Every time something good happens, I always have to stay here and keep my mom company.
Hey, Dad, look. He's got all the lights on. Wonder if he's got people over.
I don't think so, son.
Well, maybe even just one friend?
Huh, that's not true.
Well, yeah, but there's still a couple guys at school that aren't wise to him yet.
Nah, Eddie's father told me that Eddie's a little nervous about being home alone, so that's why he has all the lights on.
What do you want, you miserable rat?
Come on, Eddie. Open it up.
What do you want?
You.
What?
You heard me. I want you.
Really? I thought I wasn't your type.
Yeah, very funny. Listen, my father's out in the car over there. He's waiting for you to get in the car with us so we can go back and you can spend the weekend at our place.
But yeah, how come? Because your father's making you?
No, that's not it.
Look, the only reason you're here is because your daddy's got a gun to your head. You're nothing but a miserable rat. Probably don't even want to be friends anymore.
Oh, that couldn't be further from the truth.
Then say it. I said say it.
I love you.
I'm sorry, what?
Yeah, I love you, all right? You're my best friend, and I don't want to lose you. So will you just get your things and come in the car with us so we can head on back to our place?
Maybe. But only if you apologize for being a miserable rat.
Oh, no, I'm not apologizing. I didn't do anything wrong.
You kicked me out.
Yeah, because you were being a sore loser.
Look, I'm not going anywhere with you until you apologize.
I am not apologizing. I have nothing to apologize for. I already told you I loved you, and if that isn't enough, well, you could just forget the whole thing.
Wally, wait. All right, I guess, because you came all this way, I guess I could go with you. But I have to tell my father first.
Your father?
Yeah, he's in his bedroom reading.
Oh, yeah. I'm sure he's probably reading the New York Times.
Well, it is his favorite newspaper. I don't know what he's going to say. He was pretty sore about what happened to me over at your place. I'll have to talk him into letting me go. Look, Dad, if I'm willing to forgive the Robinsons, I think you should be big enough to do likewise. What's that? I'm sorry, Dad. I can't go along with your thinking. I'm going to spend the weekend at the Robinsons. That's the way it's going to be. So long. The old man gets stubborn at times, but I straightened him out. Let's go.
Well, hang on a second. Why'd you turn off the lights in the other room?
What's the matter with that?
Well, isn't your father reading the Times?
Oh, he is. It's just a little gag we play on each other sometimes. I turn the lights out on him when he's reading. He turns the lights out on me when I'm doing homework. We have a lot of laughs that way. Come on.
Hello, Eddie.
Good evening, Mrs. Robinson.
We're glad that you decided to come back.
Thank you. I thought it was the mature thing to do.
You boys ought to be getting ready for bed.
Yes, ma'am. Absolutely.
Good night, Mom. Good night, Dad.
Good night, Wally.
Yes, good night.
Good night, Mrs. Robinson. Good night, sir.
Good night, Eddie.
The Haskells can sleep well tonight, knowing that their son is safe.
We did the right thing. Citations have been given for a lot less.
Well, was that just Eddie Haskell I saw down the hall?
Yes, dear, that was Eddie.
Oh, okay. Thought I was having a nightmare or something. Good night.
Good night.
Good night.
This was a delicious breakfast, Mrs. Robinson.
Thank you so much, Eddie. Did you get enough?
Oh, plenty. And to show you our appreciation, we'll do the dishes.
We? What do you mean we?
You and I and the Marlin.
Oh, that'll suit us just fine.
Yes, your father and I are going shopping. Thank you so much, Eddie. Very nice gesture.
You're welcome, Mrs. Robinson.
All right. Eddie, what are you pulling this time, huh?
I'm not pulling anything. We're gonna do the dishes.
Yeah, you mean me and the Marlin over here are gonna do the dishes, and you're gonna be off jerking off somewhere.
Look, I'm gonna put water in the sink. I'm gonna do the hard part. I'm gonna wash. All you have to do is dry.
I don't know, Wally. It looks like he's gonna do it.
Yeah. Look, a guy tries to do the right thing and you guys are all shook up about it.
Yeah, we were just following that creepy way that you usually are.
Yeah, even the bad guys on television don't do anything nice until they're about to croak or something.
Hey, need us to help you finish?
Nope, everything's all done.
Really? All the dishes are put away?
Yep, the plates and things are in the cupboard or on the shelves where they belong. I even wiped the sink and the oven. You slobs certainly made a mess, but it's all good now.
This I gotta see.
Hey, Eddie, how come we made up all that junk?
What junk? I said I'd clean the kitchen and I meant it.
No, not that junk. The stuff last night about your dad being home.
What do you know about it?
Everyone knows about it. It was just a big fake on account that you didn't want to be home alone. Look, it's okay. I get afraid sometimes too. It's not that bad.
It's not that I was afraid, it's that sometimes I get kind of weird when I gotta stay any place by myself.
I didn't think you felt weird about anything.
Okay, well, when I'm around other people, I can act like a big shot and get away with it. But sometimes in life, it's not good for a guy to act like a big shot to himself. Especially when it's not true.
Yeah. It's easy to lie to other people. Not so easy to lie to yourself.
Well, if Wally knew I was lying, why didn't he say anything?
I don't know. I guess because he wanted you to think that he thinks you're a big shot too?
Okay, but why are you telling me all this?
Because I want you to know that my brother is a really good friend, and he really cares about you.
He is my best friend. Oh, he's probably my only friend.
He's not your only friend.
Wow. That place, sparkling. I've never seen the kitchen so clean ever. Thanks, Eddie.
No, pal. Thank you.